So the thing that keeps people from being successful oftentimes is this noise, this distraction from their end objective, right? Something that causes uncertainty or consternation, some like avoidance of actually taking steps towards the end objective. And this is really the entrepreneur's greatest failure, right? They embark on this journey, they say, I want to achieve this, I want to do this, and then they talk to somebody who says, oh, you can't do that. You don't have the capital, you don't have the know-how, what about this obstacle? What about that obstacle? And you have to find a way to silence that noise. What you need to understand as an entrepreneur is that moving forward is the difference, right? That you have to continue to persevere. You have to continue to take risks. Break it until you figure out how to make it work. And I think that a lot of times entrepreneurs, what they do is they become, particularly new entrepreneurs, right? They become distracted and they get mired and paralyzed with uncertainty. Like the worst type of action is inaction. Like you're never going to achieve the things you want by staying still. Staying still is going to only get you to go backwards. And just like in a gym, right? When the alarm clock goes off, if you hit snooze, right? You don't feel like after another 10 minutes, like ready to bounce out of bed. When if you delay going to the gym until later on, soon all of a sudden what takes priority is everything else. And entrepreneurism is no different, right? The minute that you allow yourself to be distracted by the noise and you don't focus on only one possible outcome, in spite of what everybody else thinks, in spite of what everybody else is doing, you can't wait on somebody else. You have to move forward. And if people don't come along for the ride, like they get left behind. Like the train is leaving the station and you've got to be the conductor. You're the guy who's making things happen and going forward. And I think that all too often entrepreneurs they miss it because they get paralyzed by what other people tell them. And you have to silence that noise, right? There's so much opportunity. We live in the greatest country of the world and arguably one of the greatest times in history to actually become an entrepreneur, to go out there and really mark your own territory and create your own level of success and really, create the American dream for yourself. And yet, that little voice inside of our head, the schizophrenia, that one that says, listen to that person, or maybe you should reconsider this, or why don't you take it slow? Like taking it slow is not a strategy. Slow and steady doesn't win the race. Like that's great in, fables and fairy tales about the tortoise and the hare, but not for the entrepreneur. Like go fast and break. Like that really is the key to success. And if you sit around and you wait, and the same holds true if you work inside of a corporation. If you're working in a corporation and you're waiting for a leader to deliver something, you're waiting for some corporate entity to deliver something, you're missing the boat. Your full potential rests in blue ocean, right? It's in that stuff that hasn't been discovered, it hasn't been invented yet. And you got to go out and you got to take risk and you got to be a pioneer. And so what if you make some mistakes? So what if you break some things? So what if things don't go well? The worst thing you can do is nothing at all.